What's up, desktoppers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and in this video I'm discussing the battle between Blessing Awodibu and Charles Griffen at the 2022 INDY Pro Prejudging. I'm going to go pose by pose. I'm going to let you guys know who I think is going to win that 2022 INDY Pro. I want to preface these photos as well with the fact that these photos are slightly from the left, so it gives Blessing Awodibu a slight advantage because Blessing Awodibu looks slightly bigger than Charles Griffen in these photos just based off the angle. So I wanted to preface that as well, and also let you guys know that I watched the pay-per-view and I've seen other photos too, so I'm taking the perspective of all of those things combined. So let's kick it off with the front double bicep. When you look at Blessing here on the left, one thing that I really notice is elbow to elbow, there is so much more distance than Charles Griffen has. So Charles Griffen has the more compact sort of look in that way, but he's got the more peakier sort of biceps, which I actually prefer. But Blessing, his structure is actually so much bigger on this pose just based on the length of his arms and his shoulder structure. So it's an interesting one for me, and it's sort of hard to judge. I mean, I might give the slight edge to Charles Griffen just because of the peakier biceps. He's pulling a great vacuum there, as is Blessing as well. I've got to say his abs are a little bit more pleasing than Charles's, but Charles has made great improvements. He's got deeper cuts in his legs than previous years, and it really does show him. That's why he's top two here as well. So this one I might give the slight edge to Charles, but it's very, very close. Moving on to the front lat spread, a great shot for both these guys here as well. I might actually give the slight edge here to Blessing. Even though Charles looks a little bit more granite, he's got the slightly more mature muscle. I think that Blessing has just such an impressive shoulder width on him, and the fact he has tons of muscle on those arms and he brings a more conditioned package than he did last year, I think it's enough for him to take that pose in my opinion. I think his midsection is just a little bit more pretty on this one. On the side chest, I would give this one to Blessing as well. When you see it more front on, Charles actually looks a bit more closed off. Even though I think Charles on this pose, like when you see the gym shots, he looks absolutely enormous and he's granite hard, as you guys can see through the chest. And I'd love to see those cuts through the chest because you don't always see it in pro bodybuilding these days. I think if you open it up a little bit more, I might be giving this pose to Charles, but I give this one to Blessing as well. So I've got two poses to one with Blessing winning. When they turn to the back, I think that Charles wins this one pretty hands down. His lats are just so much more complete. They insert much lower into his waist pretty much. And I think that's just such an impressive shot for Charles. He's more detailed, I believe, through the hamstring slightly. And yeah, they're the reasons why I give that one to Charles Griffen. So we've got it 2-2 right now. On this back lat spread, in this photo, it looks extremely impressive of Blessing Awodibu. When you see the photo of the entire lineup, this pose actually looks more impressive on Charles. So I'd give this one to Charles as well. He's got the huge traps. He really opens up a long way. And like I said, on the back double bicep, more detail through the hamstrings as well. So I've got it 3-2 to Charles. Now on the side tricep, this one is extremely close. It's almost too hard to call. I might give a slight edge to Blessing Awodibu on this one, but it really is so close. So I'd say 3-3 overall. Then we move on to this ab and thigh pose. Now this one's pretty close as well, but I'd give this one to Blessing Awodibu just based on his structure and the way he turns and hits this. Although his midsection isn't super tight while he's actually hitting this pose, I still think it looks extremely aesthetic, even though Charles's midsection, surprisingly, actually looks a little bit tighter here in terms of actually protruding out or whatever. But I'll give a slight edge to Blessing Awodibu, although it's very, very close on that as well. And the most muscular, I would give that one to Charles. I just think he looks absolutely granite on this, and when you see it in a full lineup, I just think it's a very, very impressive shot. So I think that gives it as one extra pose to Blessing. But actually looking at the photos, watching the video and everything, I might give the slight edge to Charles. So this is extremely close in my opinion. Overall, I'd probably give it to Charles, but if Blessing wins it, there is absolutely no complaints from me. It's a very, very close show. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments below, especially if you watch the pay-per-view and have seen other photos as well, because like I said before I started this video, it gives a slight edge to Blessing these photos. So it is very, very close. I think in the lineup overall, Charles has one of those more impressive physiques just because of the real crisp hardness and also that muscle maturity. But Blessing has made tremendous improvements, and very, very impressed with how both of these guys came in. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Who wins this show? Is it Blessing Awodibu or Charles Griffen? Are we back after finals to give my full review of the 2022 INDY Pro? So make sure you do subscribe and hit that notification bell button. That way you won't miss out on my full review of this show and future videos coming up, like interviews, contest coverage, and bodybuilding news. So make sure you do stay tuned to Desktop Bodybuilding. Also head to HD Muscle xavier.com. Enter the code DESKTOP. You'll save yourself 10% on some amazing supplements. Make sure you do check them out. They've got stim-free pre-workout, they've got stim pre-workout, they've got fat burners, they've got kidney support, liver support supplements, they've got protein from grass-fed cows. So make sure you do check out their website. And if they do have discounts on there already, if you use Desktop, you'll get an extra 10% off as well. So that's it for me. For Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.